Hello everyone, in this video, two amazing games by Alireza Firouzja playing 1e4. The first one, and I'll put the comments and links in the description, is against a Grandmaster playing 2018. So this game starts with a Sicilian defense, and this has been played before. Kamsky plays that with black, so let's jump right in this position after move 9. So here Alireza plays bishop h6, trying to exchange the bishops. Knight bc6, and here what do you play? Well, the answer, and Stockfish agrees this is the best move, is h4. You're not in a hurry to exchange, you're putting more pressure. Notice that Firouzja does not castle right away. Game continues. And now we have this position where white was happy to double the pawns because now you have attack against the king side and the black king. So what does Alireza play here? h5. Logical, trying to play take here, followed by checkmate. Now the grandmaster playing black. So here the knight on g8 covers the key squares. Long castle, and here e5 play. It goes without saying that captures here, you simply play like that, and if the queen comes back, I'm gonna start attacking very quickly on the dark squares. So of course, taking here is not a good idea, so e5 is played. Take, bishop c4, defending and attacking here. Right, we can take on g8 and then come with the queen. So queen c7 is played, so that if we were to take over here, then the king here would take and there's no checkmate. So now this is a position white to play. Pause the video if you'd like to, and what would be a good move here for white. And there's no sack working yet, but queen g5 is very strong because the queen here comes back closer. And keep in mind that queen e7 wouldn't work because you take here, and after a position like that, it would be crushing the black position. So okay, fine. Queen g5, the queen is coming here, could come also to h4 potentially. So we have some ideas for white, but nothing yet clear. So black plays bishop f5. Logical, right? And here it's important to pause. Once again, pause the video. What would you play here in this position? White to play. In the answer, white has position all the pieces in the right squares. That bishop here is well positioned, the knight is here, could jump, the queen, the rooks, everything is ready. So here you don't want to wait and let black exchange pieces, you want to go for the kill. And the kill is rook h7 check. King takes, that's played in the game, check. And now what was the follow-up? Firouzja plays queen h4. That is threatening check, and actually checkmate here on h7. Rook f7 played, that's giving an escape route for the king. Check, take. Obviously here you cannot take like that because then rook h7 win the queen. So after take with the queen, you come in with the rook, you give a check, and here one more brilliant move. What did white play here? And the answer is knight d6 checks. And this is winning on the spot. and after queen d6, queen f7 check, and black resign. Why is that? King moves here, and you're gonna have checkmate on the next move. So if we recap the three great moves played by Alireza: queen g5 first, rook h7 next, and finally in this position, knight d6, and this is curtains. I want to point out that while knight d6 is a very nice finishing touch, the computer on chess.com believes that the move earlier, specifically queen g5 here and rook h7, were brilliant moves with 2 exclam points. The second game, Alireza is also playing brilliantly. He's playing against a grandmaster again, and this time the game goes with e4, e5. He goes with this sideline, and here, what move does he play on move 4? He plays queen h5. Now you may say, well, he could take here, but then d5 comes in. He's not interested in playing that. So now that's a known theoretical line. Picks up the pawn here, and now puts the queen of f4. Now if you were to ask me, I think that the queen of f4 could be attacked, and I'm not clear if white has an advantage here. The game continues, and I just want to show you here that black played bishop a6, and that prevents white from castling. So on the face of it, bishop e3 played by Firouzja. I would say that I prefer black just because the queen of f4 is kind of misplaced, and I like that bishop here coming down. However, in the game, bishop c4 was played, and after take and take, white was able to castle. All is fine. So I was wondering, why not play knight c4 here, right? That seems to be stronger. However, castling long would have been probably what white would have done here, and white is doing well and can attack, which we've seen Alireza likes to do. So now in the game, bishop c4 played, and now the game continues. We're gonna jump in on move 20th. Queen d5 plays, right? The queen is still in the middle of the board, right here, and here black attacked the queen. So now, what would you play with white? It's not winning for white, but what would be the best idea here to play? Pause the video if you have to. Now, the answer here is queen f7. And that's an annoying move because the queen here kind of attacks the rook here, close to the king over here. There's no checkmate yet, but you can think of maybe knight h4 coming, maybe queen h5. So you can see that that queen, if I remove all the colors, right, that queen here is kind of deep inside black's camp. And that's how Alireza, step by step, is putting pressure on his opponent. d5 plays, and now, how do you continue, right? I was thinking maybe knight h4, but Firouzja with white, h4 again. Sounds familiar, right? So let's continue. c6 played. What do you play with white? h5. Now, if black continues to ignore white's threat, h6 would be fairly strong, destroying all the pawns around the king. So here, knight g8 play, that covers h6. Knight f5. Once again, we have a strong position for white. Knight comes back, exchanging on f5. Now we have a rook here, looking over here. That knight is advanced here, knight on f5, and the queen remains here. And you don't have an easy way for black to get rid of these pieces, right? For instance, not playing the game, but if you play here, we take back. If you play your a waiting move, h6, and you can see this is really strong for white. So in the game, queen c8 played. But once again, all these pieces here are on the back rank, and white has a much better position. But how do you advance? How do you go forward? h6, of course, is the answer. Now, if you were to take, the variation is like that. Take, rook e5, take, and here simply rook d1, you have a crushing position. You're gonna come on d3, come here, and if black was to exchange pieces, just coming here, and this is crushing for white. So clearly taking on h6, as we've seen, is not so good. So g6 played. And now I'm gonna pause and white to play and win. And here's the solution. Actually amazing move. Rook e7. The game continues one more move, but let's just see here the possible options. Now the threat is to take on h7, checkmate. If you take with the bishop, checkmate right away. Now in the game, black took with the rook. What do? Knight e7 here. You're attacking with a checkmate, and once again you cannot take. So knight e7, and if you try to defend against, let's say, a checkmate here, white is up a queen. After putting a lot of pressure, finishing touch by Firouzja, rook e7 played, definitely a brilliant move. So once again, exciting style and wins by the young GM Alireza Firouzja.